Have you ever found yourself, scrolling through endless videos, maybe dreaming of becoming a vlogger yourself? Sharing your travels, maybe your expertise, or just a slice of your daily life. It's a really common idea, but knowing exactly where to start, that can feel like, well, staring at a blank screen. So today on the deep dive, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're extracting the essential, actionable stuff for becoming a successful vlogger, even if, like, the only tool you have right now is just your phone. Our mission: uncover the surprising facts and the practical steps to make it happen.
It's such an exciting area right now because honestly, the barrier to entry is just so low compared to what it used to be. Vlogging, video blogging, it's fundamentally about taking your life, your trips, your knowledge, whatever your hobbies are, and sharing them through video, usually on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, maybe TikTok. And what's really amazing, what gets people hooked, I think, is the potential. Some vloggers get millions of views just sharing what they love doing. It's a pretty high bar, a really inspiring tone for what's possible when you find your thing.
Yeah, we often think it's just, point the camera, hit record, simple. But our sources suggest there's like a deeper level to it. What is it about vlogging that turns it from just a recording into something more?
That's a great point, actually, because that's exactly where our sources kind of draw the line. It's not just recording. The real core, as they point out, is more about digital storytelling. But maybe even more important than that is the community building side of things. You're not just broadcasting out into the void. You're inviting people in. You're creating a real connection with your audience.
Okay, so understanding that community piece is fundamental.
Right.
Then the very first, like, practical step our sources mention is choosing your niche. But just picking, I don't know, travel or food, yeah, that's not quite enough, is it? What's the critical detail here? What makes the difference?
Exactly. That's where we need to, dive a bit deeper. Our sources show that simply having a niche, it's not the whole story. The real power, they say, is in how specific it is. They give the example, like travel in Asia. That's not just a category. It's more like a strategic filter. It helps pull in the exact audience you want, helps you grow faster, stand out a bit in what's, let's face it, a very crowded space. Otherwise, you're just sort of shouting. And that's why you see all these different areas working: travel, lifestyle, fitness, food, tech, and gaming, education, even just daily life vlogs. Specificity works across the board.
Right. Honing in like that makes sense. So, okay, you've narrowed down your specific niche. The next big hurdle people imagine is gear, right? This idea, you need thousands of dollars for a DSLR, lights, the whole studio setup.
Yeah.
But our sources push back on that, don't they?
They really do. They're super clear about it. You absolutely do not need a pro setup to start. And that point, honestly, it just democratizes the whole thing. It makes vlogging possible for almost anyone, whatever their budget. Your best asset isn't some fancy camera, it's the passion you have and, well, the thing in your pocket. Your smartphone probably has a decent camera, a decent mic already built in, maybe add a cheap tripod, and you're pretty much good to go. And speaking of keeping costs down, the sources mention tools like CapCut and VN, really easy mobile editing apps, and, maybe surprisingly, DaVinci Resolve. It's free, but it's professional level software for your computer. That's a huge tip for creators on a budget.
Well, okay, so no need to take out a loan just to share your story. That's got to be a massive relief for a lot of people thinking about starting. All right, so you've got your niche, you've got your phone, maybe some free software. What are the absolute basic video skills our sources say you have to get down? Like the fundamentals to make your stuff watchable, engaging. Is there one skill that's like more important than the others?
Good question. Because, yeah, there are basics you need. Framing your shot, making it look good, using natural light well, recording clean audio, I'll come back to that, editing simple cuts, transitions, adding maybe some music, some text. And the good news is you can learn all this stuff for free. YouTube tutorials are great for this.
Mm.
Or just playing around in apps like CapCut or VN or a DaVinci Resolve on PC. But our sources highlight this critical bonus tip that often catches people off guard. It's improve your audio first. Why? Because bad sound equals no viewers. That's what they say. People will actually forgive video that's not perfect, maybe a bit shaky if the audio is clear and easy to listen to, but bad, crackly, hard to hear audio, that's apparently the quickest way to make someone click away.
Huh? Bad sound equals no viewers. When you put it like that, you suddenly remember all those times you've clicked off a video because you couldn't hear it properly, right? It kind of flips the usual visuals are everything idea on its head. Okay, so you've got the technical side sounding good, literally. How do you make sure your message, your story, actually connects? Our sources seem to shift here, focusing more on the craft of storytelling.
Exactly. It's not just tech specs. They really stress that before you even think about recording, you should write a script or at least a detailed outline. It's kind of non-negotiable. They also say keep your intros short, like really short. Hook people in the first few seconds, don't ramble, and always end with a clear call to action. Ask them to subscribe or like or comment. Tell them what you want them to do next. But what makes a great video? Beyond just a plan. Our sources talk about a good vlog being like a puzzle piece. It needs that mix of story plus message plus emotion. Think about it, a vlog without maybe some humor or some real unscripted moments or some lessons learned. It feels incomplete, right? Adding those things in makes your content memorable, not just something people passively watch. It makes it engaging.
Right. Story, message, emotion. It sounds like a lot to juggle, though. You've got your niche, the right minimal gear, the skills, a solid plan. But our sources are really strong on this next point. None of that works long term without persistence. The grind, basically.
Yeah, and it's easy to just say, be consistent, but our sources explain why it's so crucial for success. It's not just about, showing up regularly. Consistency actually trains the platform algorithms, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, to notice and promote your content more. And just as important, it trains your audience to expect your videos. It builds that anticipation, that habit, creates a powerful feedback loop. They even suggest a specific frequency, aiming for 1 or 2 videos a week seems to be a kind of sweet spot. Enough momentum, but maybe not total burnout. And they give practical tips too, like using a content calendar to plan ahead or batch recording, film several videos in one go when you have time. That helps keep the rhythm going.
Okay, so it's about building momentum and expectation, not just output. And I like that bit about focus on improvement, not perfection. That takes some pressure off, doesn't it?
Totally.
So once you're creating consistently, you naturally want more people to see your work. How do our sources suggest you actually grow your channel, expand that reach?
Yeah, they offer a really practical toolkit for growth. It starts with making your stuff discoverable, using SEO, that's search engine optimization, in your titles and descriptions. Basically, using the words people are actually searching for. Designing thumbnails that are attractive, that make people want to click. That first impression is huge. Then, it's about actively promoting it. Sharing your videos on your other social media, maybe relevant WhatsApp or Facebook groups. And interestingly, they suggest collaborating with other small creators. You can sort of share audiences that way. And of course, don't be shy about asking your viewers directly. Remind them to like, comment, subscribe. Those engagement signals tell the platform your video is valuable.
Right, so the mix of making it easy to find you, like leaving breadcrumbs, and actively putting it out there. But beyond the views and the algorithms, our sources are clear. Vlogging isn't just tech and strategy, it's about people. What's the human element they really emphasize for that long-term connection?
This is so important, and it answers that question. How does genuine connection keep people watching? They stress building a real community. That means things like actually replying to comments, asking your audience questions in your videos, maybe sharing some behind-the-scenes stuff. But the absolute core of it, authenticity, being relatable, being yourself. When viewers feel like they know the real you, or at least a genuine version of you, they build trust. They feel a connection. That's what makes them loyal. They come back, they watch more, they might even tell their friends. It's about that shared experience, that trust.
It really does sound like building relationships, not just putting out content. Okay, finally, for people looking maybe beyond just getting started, our sources had some great bonus tips for long-term success. What were those last key pieces of advice?
Yeah, these are really powerful for sustainability. First, don't just copy others, build your own voice. That authenticity, again, it's crucial. Find what makes you unique. Second, always be learning. Watch other successful vloggers, sure, but study how they do things, their style, their storytelling. Don't just imitate them. Adapt, don't adopt wholesale. And third, don't fear criticism, grow from feedback. Easier said than done, maybe, but every comment, even the negative ones, can be a chance to learn and improve. It's all about that mindset of continuous improvement, right? But maybe the most vital piece of advice, the one that really sticks, is this: enjoy the process. Because fun equals sustainability. If you're genuinely having fun creating, it stops feeling like work. And that enjoyment, that passion, that's the secret fuel for sticking with it long term without burning out.
Finding the fun is actually a strategic move for longevity.
I love that framing. That makes so much sense.
Well, we've definitely cut through a lot of the noise today, haven't we? We've mapped out a pretty comprehensive path to vlogging success, from finding that specific niche to getting started with just your phone, mastering those key skills, especially audio, planning engaging stories, and then, critically, building that authentic audience and sustaining your passion through consistency and, well, fun. This deep dive has hopefully given you, our listener, a really clear roadmap whether you're just dreaming about starting or aiming for those millions of views.
Absolutely. And maybe as a final thought, as you consider your own vlogging journey, remember this fundamental idea. If vlogging truly is about sharing your life, your passions, what unique perspective, what unique story can only you bring to the world? How might sharing that specific, authentic part of yourself connect you with communities you haven't even thought of yet, open doors you didn't know existed? Really think about the power inherent in your own story. That's your most valuable asset, truly.